Hey there, how you doing? Today we're going to be discussing what's natural bodybuilding. What is natural bodybuilding? So if you have any questions, please send them on the chat. Don't be shy. Send in your questions. This is all about natural bodybuilding. Okay. Okay, anybody here? So here's the thing about it. Okay, so I got somebody. I'm going to start talking. The first thing about natural bodybuilding I'm going to start talking about is nutrition. Because nutrition is at the heart of natural bodybuilding. It is. Makes a big difference. Okay? I'm taking my hat off. Let's look at this here. White hair. If I was if I am a natural bodybuilder, right? But if I wanted to compete, okay, I want to compete right now. And I wanted to compete in the NPC, that's called the National Physique Committee, or the IFBB, which is professional bodybuilding. I would have to take drugs, aka steroids. But I'm not going to do that. If there's TRT, if I took steroids and that's all different kind of steroids, it's not just for muscles. There's things like human growth hormone that affects the quality of your hair, of your skin. It helps improve the fibrin in your skin. Of course, we're not talking about side effects too. They are, but I'm just talking about the effects of steroids make on your appearance. So if I were to take steroids, conceivably I might look younger. I might be in front of you and you say, "Who?" You might not recognize me. I don't know that guy. Okay, but I'm a natural bodybuilder, and you can tell because, hey, I look my age. You know. Another thing about natural bodybuilding is that that I'm going to get into right now is nutrition. And the nutrition affects your metabolism. So we all have like metabolism. This is called this. The metabolism is everything your body does. Okay, the sum of all body processes is metabolism. If I'm a natural bodybuilder, I'm stuck with my natural metabolism, but I could do things through nutrition to help my metabolism. And those things that I can do is take herbs because now everybody talks about eating a nutritious diet, but there's so many things in nature that are available to us that we're not using. Yeah, you go to your doctor if you don't feel good and they give you some medicine, but did you know that nature provides you with a lot of medicine, a lot of ways that you can feel better? So I take a lot of herbs. One of the herbs that everybody can benefit from is called rhodiola rosea. It acts as a shield for stress. So write that down, rhodiola rosea. Why is that important for natural bodybuilding? Because when you train, you apply the stress not only physically, but to your nerves and to your central nervous system. Rhodiola helps protect your nerves because there's a there's a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol, that's another thing. So as I'm talking, please write these things down. Cortisol. Cortisol breaks down your muscle tissue. So as you're training, you're releasing all this cortisol. If you take rhodiola, it's going to form a barrier and protect not only your muscles, but like you said, your nervous system. So write that down, rhodiola rosea, one of the many wonderful herbs that you can take. Now let's look at another thing. What about your sugar metabolism? Many people are diabetic. Maybe people are hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic, too much sugar. There's a wonderful thing. There's two wonderful things called. There's one called fenugreek that helps your body metabolize the sugar. But there's another thing that's called holy basil. So please, if you have a pen or pencil, paper, write these things down. They're very important. It's called holy basil, HOLYBASIL. It helps your body metabolize sugar, makes your liver not have to put out insulin. There's another thing called alpha lipoic acid, which is antioxidant. You could go out to the health food store and buy it. But did you know that the skin of grapes naturally contain a lot of alpha lipoic acid? And did you know that on your shelf, you may have the most wonderful thing for metabolizing, helping in your body use sugar, and that is cinnamon. Cinnamon helps your muscles, your body, receive the sugar much better. Your receptors, your insulin receptors. Cinnamon helps your insulin receptors, which we all have on our muscles, something called insulin receptors that help transport all the insulin into our muscles to help the process of receiving the sugar. This is helped by chromium, which is found in cinnamon. So you don't have to go out and take insulin. You can. I'm not saying that if you're diabetic, don't use insulin. All this that I'm saying here is not meant to be a prescription. I'm not telling you to go out and do it. This live is meant as an education on natural bodybuilding and natural eating. So I'm simply educating you on many herbs and many diet strategies, ways to eat foods that can help you attain better health. and natural muscle. So you're getting back again to cinnamon. It's a great way to help your body metabolize sugar. Okay. Now, it's another wonderful herb that we're going to get into. People don't readily know about us. It's called Snidium monieri. Okay, that's just a fancy word. But here in America, it's known as Oregon grape. Great. Oregon grape helps protect against cancer. In studies, okay, so now I'm not saying that this is, if you take this, it's going to do this, X, Y, Z. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that according to studies, Oregon grape has been known to help cancer, has been known to help protect your blood vessels from damage. So Oregon grape's another great one. But if you take herbs, all these, well, let's say, if you're taking herbs and utilizing herbs, it can potentially help your training a lot. But let's get into another herb. It's called ginseng. Ginseng, there are many forms of ginseng. There's American ginseng, there's Siberian ginseng, there's Chinese ginseng. And ginseng in studies have been known to help your endurance, not only mental endurance and physical endurance. When you're training, you get tired mentally before your body gets tired. So, but getting into what is the other aspects is how do you eat? See, you have the food pyramid. Food pyramid, you get the least recommended amount of foods is the fats and oils. So that'll be what you need to take in less throughout the day. Then you have it's followed by milk and cheese. Milk and cheese, you could get 2 to 3 servings a day. It's recommended. Veggies, 3 to 5 servings a day. Fruits, 2 to 4 servings a day. And breads and cereals, the food pyramid recommends 6 to 11, but I'm not necessarily recommending that because many people have allergies to grains, and this is yet another thing about natural bodybuilding. Many people have allergies, many food allergies, and you have to take those into consideration. You can't eat just a general recommended profile, a general diet, because like I said, many people have food allergies. Many people can't handle grains. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, you look for things that are, gluten-free. Some people have allergies to gluten. You look at the source of carbohydrates, so easier for you to digest. Did you know that there are forms of sugar that are very slow acting? Like rice sugar is one of the slowest acting and steadily acting sugars. Molasses is a slower acting sugar, but not only that, it naturally contains a lot of chromium, contains a lot of iron, a lot of potassium, minerals, electrolytes. As far as which carbohydrates, starch is easier to digest, broken down, you would say a white potato, red potatoes, because the red potatoes and the white potatoes are less dense form of starch, much easier broken down into glucose, and to supply steady form of glycogen. And the good thing about vegetables is that they have fiber, and when you have fiber, it slows steady, steady amount of glycogen into your bloodstream. When you're a natural bodybuilder, you don't want to eat anything that'll raise your sugar level, substantially quick, because then you could store body fat. If you're eating and you don't want to get fat, never eat a lot of carbs at one meal. It just doesn't work. No matter all these people here, and I'm fed up with it. I get a little emotional sometimes with the word, with one word. You want to hear the word? Should I shout it? Should I shout it to the winds? Anabolic, anabolic, anabolic. What anabolic? What is anabolic? What is anabolic? This is. I'm tired of anabolic. This is politics. Politics bombarding you on YouTube, bombarding you on the media, telling you anabolics is the way to build natural body muscle. No, it's not. Nature is the way to build natural muscle, not anabolics. Do you want to know what the word anabolics? People just throwing the word anabolics around. Do you know what anabolics is? Is when your body takes a simpler substance and builds it, converts into a more complex substance. That is determined by how efficient your metabolism is. Not mine, not his, not your neighbor's metabolism, your metabolism. Sorry for pointing. And metabolism is determined by your digestion and your assimilation. Stop listening to all these people and saying you are what you eat, and saying if you eat 100 grams of protein, you're going to get converted. No, it's not true. First, that protein has to be digested. Once it's digested, it has to be assimilated. And that is, the assimilation comes from the need for the protein. I'm sitting down right here now. Do I need all this protein? No, I don't. And when you train, do you need all that protein? You may or may not. You may or may not need that protein when you digest, when you train. But it matters. It depends, again, on how you can digest and assimilate protein. And in general, the amount of protein you can digest depends on all the digestive enzymes in your stomach. Not everybody has the same amount of digestive enzymes in their stomach. Now, there's something called pH. In order for protein to be broken down in your stomach, it has to be a certain amount of alkalinity in it. So if you're just eating a lot of protein, concentrated protein, your stomach is going to be so acidic, I guarantee your body won't assimilate that protein, because you need a certain amount of alkaline foods. So if you're eating protein, you need alkaline foods. Alkaline foods are mostly contain a high amount of potassium. The potassium will alkalize that protein. If you're eating a lot of protein, you have to also eat foods with high potassium. Vegetables. In the carbohydrate realm, potatoes are high in potassium. So the protein itself is not going to gain you muscle. It's what you eat, what you combine. It's the alkalinity in your stomach. Too high amount of protein, too highly acidic. You need the potassium to balance it out. You need the alkalinity. You need to be getting those vegetables, green vegetables. The darker the green, the better. You have to consider your lean body weight. If you weigh, let's say, ballpark figure, you weigh 150 of lean muscle, because you have fat, you have bone, whatever. You have 150 pounds of lean muscle. Now consider how many calories you need. In order to gain 1 pound, you have to ingest an additional surplus of 3,500 calories. For muscle, that would mean 3,500 calories of protein. So your body cannot assimilate 3,500 calories of protein in one day or even 1 week. So all these people talk about anabolic. It's not about anabolic. It's not about gorging yourself with the more protein you take in. It's not like this. It's going to magically make your muscles expand. It's anabolic is this taking something simple and making it more complex. That takes time. Whatever protein you eat has to be assimilated. It's not just taking in, cramming in protein. The amino acid balance is important. There's something called the bioavailability of protein. How much you cook it, the balance of amino acids. The best protein, which have the best balance of amino acids, are eggs, whole eggs, not egg whites, whole eggs. And that's followed by chicken, and then followed by beef. Now, getting into the topic of vegetarianism, we talked about the pH of your stomach. It can't be too acidic, but it can't be too alkaline either. The body's ability to break down vegetable sources is different in everyone. So if you want to get in your amino acids from the vegetarian sources, you have to combine all the foods so they can contain at least the 22 aminos, not just the essential amino acids, because if you're talking about essential amino acids, that's good, that's important. But for your whole body to function, brains, nerves, you need 22 amino acids. You're going to sit down and write down how many amino acids your foods contain. You would have to eat a big combination of vegetable sources, and you would have to educate yourself. But again, it depends on your stomach, its ability to break down and assimilate those alkaline foods. Everybody has different pH level in the stomach. So you have to assess these, just adopting a vegetarian diet because you hear about it in the news. It's not going to work. It depends on the pH level of your stomach, but also of your blood. You can have those things tested. That's why the best advice is a balanced diet. Not too much protein, but what you can assimilate. So, not getting into numbers, but usually recommended a handful, a pound full of protein, a pound full of carbohydrate, but you can easily check if you want to see, and you can go out and take in as much protein as you want to, but on a weekly basis, if you're not seeing a gain, a gain not only on the scale but the visible gain of muscle on your body, then that extra protein is not doing you any good. So there's no such thing as anabolic. There's such thing as assimilation, digestion, assimilation, and metabolism. It's not anabolic. They're trying to fool you. It's about metabolism and assimilation. Eating for your own body. This is why, like, I got the question box here, and I encourage anybody to ask questions in the chat. Oh, hello, Keaton. How are you? So, I ask you, in your country, what are the typical foods? Because in many countries, they're very intelligent, more intelligent here than the United States, because they have more resources, natural, different vegetables and fruits that help you. So, you can live in the Caribbean or live in Asia, and certain vegetables, fruits, herbs will help you. Nature provided a lot of things. So, if you have any questions on nutrition, please send them. Another thing is the training. It's not about talk about anabolic hormones. If you have you have a lot of testosterone, does that mean you're going to have a lot of muscle? Because you need receptors in your muscles. Everyone has different amount of receptors. I have different amount of receptors in my biceps, different around in my pecs. If you can have all the testosterone in the world, but if you don't have receptors in your muscles, you're still going to be skinny. How many hairy guys have you seen out there? A lot of viral guys. But they don't have muscles. They're skinny because they don't have receptors in their muscles. This is what distinguishes an athlete from a non-athlete. So this is why I get upset when I hear people talking about anabolic. It's not about anabolic. It's about your own metabolism assimilation, about your own body. And one of those things in your body that determines whether you receive protein and you can receive stimulation to your muscle is all the receptors inside. Not everybody has the same amount of receptors. I don't care how much protein, I don't care how much testosterone you put in there. I can tell you a lot of guys who have much more testosterone than me. One of mine is 62. I'm not even supposed to have testosterone. Why do I have muscles? Because I have receptors. And the receptors come through training the right way for your own body. They come through here, the mind, the nervous system, and the muscle. You don't just train the muscle. This is why I get upset when I hear anabolic. There's no anabolic here. Improve your nervous system connection to the muscle. It comes through practice. I'm doing curls. I'm not just loading up weight. I am contracting, I'm concentrating on my private little Idaho of the muscle. I'm living. You have to live in your muscle when you exercise if you want it to grow. It's not just about loading a weight. You can lift more weight if you improve your mechanics. But then it becomes automatic. You become like a machine, like a robot. Oh, yeah, definitely. Only when you can recover. Because it's not, Andy, it's about little tiny tears. Little tiny tears when you work out. You get tears and it takes time. Remember, we're talking about metabolism, your body's ability to take in the foods and use them. It takes time. We're talking generally at least 72 hours, 3 days. So that's 7 days of the week. So you don't want to train a muscle sooner than 3 days. So let's say every 4 days, you could train that same muscle. And it's not going to be all out, Andy. So you don't have to train every day. You're not. You could train every other day. You allow rest in between. 3 days a week, 4 days is plenty. So that's and when you start, Andy. You don't have to, you know, 3 days is sufficient, and you take turns on this. If you're doing chest one day, you could do chest one day, legs Wednesday, chest again Friday, and then you could switch up the next week. Do legs Monday, chest Wednesday, legs again Friday. You could switch it up. You always give your body a chance to rest, and you train at different levels, easy, hard. You shouldn't train hard more than once a week. You could train twice, but one of those days have to be either medium or easy. It's never hard and training hard all the time, especially when you start out, because you're learning technique and you're learning your body and you're learning how to take notes on how your body feels with the exercise and your food you're taking. So this is why I get upset about anabolic. Natural bodybuilding is not anabolic. When you get older, especially, it's not anabolic. It's about metabolism. It's about learning your own body, doing what's right for your own body with the food and your activity, your lifestyle. That's why I call this natural fitness lifestyle. Fitness is a lifestyle. I exercise, but I sleep. I try to meditate. I try to learn breathing. So I'm not telling you to be anabolic. I'm also telling you important things in life. How to breathe. How to be happy with your body, your attitude. These things are not talked about on YouTube. How to breathe properly to get better muscles. Your attitude. How to look at yourself and be happy with your body. Because I'm not expecting to look like the next guy on YouTube. I'm happy with the way my body is and what my body can do. And the only way I can do that is to learn my body, take notes, appreciate what you can do. So, any more questions on training? It's not about all the big weights. If I told you that most of the people that I, you know, met in natural bodybuilding competitions, they don't all lift heavy weights, but There was one time in 2007, I was in the land of the giants. Big men. They would crush me. They would, and they tried to push me. And they tried to bully me, yes. In a competition, they tried to bully me. They wanted me to be scared. But I beat up giants. And I did it with the smaller muscles because I had technique. I had classical pulsing. I breathed. And I didn't allow the stress of the competition to defeat me. And I used my mind to show them that I had confidence. And those big giants, they shrunk. The big giants shrunk because they lost their confidence while my confidence grew. And I wasn't big, but in their minds, in the minds of the giants, I became a giant. And I beat them. I beat them with my confidence. So it's not just about big muscles. It's about your attitude in natural bodybuilding. Attitude. So how much is attitude talked about on YouTube? It's sad. It's sad. Because attitude is life. Living is life. You have life. I have life. And how your attitude is will show in your body. One of the important things in natural bodybuilding. So I'm going to end this live here. And I hope to see you again soon. God bless and see you always. Take care.